Hi, Mountain Dwellers. Paul LaFontaine from Majestic Mountain Movers here. And today's topic is how movers charge. Of course, there are as many ways to charge for a move as there are movers in the world. So I can only talk with authority about how we charge at Majestic Mountain Movers. The move budget actually is completely in your control because the elements, as we'll talk about, really come down to your decision about what you're going to take from your source to your destination. So ultimately, you actually control your own budget. One thing you can't control is your distance. So if you're moving from point A to point B, that of course is going to be fixed. But how much of the goods that you're going to take with you and how you prepare those goods for transport will affect your budget, and it ties into how movers charge. There's really 4 elements of a move that we want to talk about, all of which that you can control. First of all, if you think of everything in your house, all the things in your house or in your storage facility or wherever your items are, those all have to be prepared for the move. So the first thing we want to think about is how do you prepare your items for moving? You want your items protected, of course, and there's a variety of ways to do that, but there's going to be a cost or time associated with moving or preparing your goods for move. So if you do that yourself, that obviously brings the budget down. If you have some help from us in terms of packing and preparing your goods, then that will be added to your budget. So the way we charge for preparation is we call it packing, and there'll be materials than the time spent actually preparing that move. The second element is loading the truck. So once all your items have been prepared, we'll want to load that up on the truck of the appropriate size, and there's a certain amount of time that takes, and that's based on the volume and the weight of the goods that you're moving. So the reason that we are very careful and we make a detailed inventory of all the items that you're going to move is we want to make sure we get it correct in terms of the weight and the volume of the items that you're going to move, and we create an inventory for that reason. We use software to help track that, so we go through and we actually count the number of things that you have. We put that into a software program, and that tells us the amount of goods that we have, so we can calculate fairly accurately or very accurately the amount of time it will take to load a truck based on what the software will tell us. Next is the distance, and you can't really control that, but there's a mileage that's associated with your move, and there'll be a mileage charge. And inside that mileage charge is certainly the fuel, there's the truck itself, the driver and the mover helpers, if there's 1 or 2, their time, and there'll be a pretty standard fee for the mileage, and we'll charge for that. So preparation time, loading time, moving time, then of course the last bit is going to be unloading. Unloading is where we put it in your destination, and that can be anywhere from we place things carefully in every room of the house where you want it, or we can just load it into the garage or a storage unit that's more simple. The way to think about these 4 elements, which is preparation, load, travel, and unload, is the more complicated the move, or the more complicated that element, obviously, the more the prices or the budget's going to be affected. The simpler that you can make it, the easier it is for us to do it, and the lower the budget. So for example, if you prepare all your goods for move, that will drop your budget. If you have us do it, then of course we're going to have to help you with that, and there'll be a charge for that. If you, on the other hand, you actually are very clear about where you want all your things to go, be it just in one spot or throughout the house in very specific places, then of course it makes it easier for us, and it takes less time to take that weight and that volume and put it in the house where you want it. So if you think about your move in 4 elements and how we charge, we really charge for complexity. And if you can make things more simple, then of course we're happy to actually help you out with that, and that will lower your budget. So simplify the 4 steps. That's preparation, loading, the travel time / mileage, and then the unloading, and that'll bring your budget down. That's how we charge at Majestic Mountain Movers, and we always look to make sure that the budget that we land on is the right budget for you. And the important thing is that we plan together to make sure that that works right. If you have any questions, of course, give us a call at the office, and if not, we'll see you on moving day. Thanks so much.